been serving clients in Gaston and surrounding counties. Their realtors know the area, not just from maps and pictures, but from living and working in the community. From Belmont to Kings Mountain, Lincolnton to Clover, and more, the hometown specialists at Moss Realty want you to be their neighbors.
Hi, I'm Warren Moss. Whether you're buying or selling your home in Gaston County, call one of the professionals at Moss Realty or visit us online at mossrealty.com. Moss Realty, your hometown specialist.
Steelers football, basketball man Ken, he's live in the studio with us here on a Wednesday afternoon. Tim Johnson, and I tell you, Kenny, have we got a great lineup of sports for all your sports lovers out there. It's the second day of the new year, Ken. What'd you do for New Year's, Ken?
Well, I just relaxed at home and watched a little TV. Didn't really go out anywhere. Listened to some fireworks and shooting in the distance and enjoyed it with me actually having to participate.
Now, Miss Teresa, does she have a good New Year's?
Oh, yeah.
And so did she cook some black eyed peas?
Well, she usually does, but she didn't this time.
She did not?
We eat that great leftovers we had from her Sunday lunch. She fixed it. It was so great.
Oh, my gosh. You wait till I see her. Didn't make no black eyed peas or nothing. I can't believe that. They say if you eat black eyed peas on New Year's, you get rich.
Well, see, I've tried that. It never happened.
I have never got rich either. I'm telling you. I don't know what the deal is. That's what you do for New Year's.
Not much. Just
I saw you on Morgan. I saw you on Morgan on let's see, Twitter.
No, Snapchat.
Snapchat. Okay.
Yeah, we went to her family's house and we just hung out there.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, we got a as Tim said, action-packed show here today. We kick off the new year. We're going to talk a lot about some playoff football, both pros and college.
So, speaking of the NFC playoffs, Kenny, how about those Cowboys?
Well,
how about those Cowboys?
Well, how about them? They made it to the playoffs, but they've got to prove they can win a playoff game.
Well, I'm going to let you know right now.
And they get that opportunity Saturday night against those Seattle Seahawks who come into Dallas.
Yeah, Seattle look really good.
Yeah, they're a good football team. I think it's going to be really tough game for Dallas to beat Seattle, but I think Dallas is going to beat Seattle. I think right now Dak Prescott is playing with a lot of confidence. Now you do know that they beat the Giants without Ezekiel Elliott and three of their offensive linemen. They didn't have anybody pretty much on the starters on offensive linemen, and Zeke didn't play. Dak pretty much won that game himself.
And who they beat?
They beat the Giants. Listen, that's a conference game.
The last place team in their conference.
Okay, it's a conference game. It's
I'll
always
say this.
As I predicted, I told you that Philly would take Minnesota's spot.
I just want to ask y'all a question. We got a Carolina Panther fan to the right of me, folks, and to the left of me, we got a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Who are y'all playing in the playoffs?
Well, it doesn't matter who we're playing in the playoffs. We're not playing in the playoffs.
The question is who the Cowboys are playing and can they beat them?
We're going to beat the Seahawks.
I mean, same thing with
we're going to
I got Seattle as the dark horse in the NFC.
We're going to Super Bowl.
They look really good.
Folks, having a big party at my house Saturday night. All the listeners out there is invited. Everybody come on over to the house. We're having steak, chicken, shrimp, and a couple cold ones too, Ken. We're going to get ready. Chicken wings. We're going to be fired up. We're going to have everybody there.
Sound like y'all going to have a good time. I just wonder how happy you're going to be at the end of the game.
I'm going to be very happy. All righty, the NFC playoffs in the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints, #1 seed, 13-3. They have a first-round bye. The West, LA Rams, winners, 13-3. They are the #2 seed. And the Chicago Bears, of the North, 12-4, and the Dallas Cowboys, 10-6. They are the East champions, and they are your 4 division winners. And Dallas and Chicago will host a wild card game. And Seattle Seahawks will be going to the Dallas Cowboys, #5 seed, and Philadelphia Philly. How about the Philadelphia? How about those Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm not surprised that they snuck in there. Minnesota couldn't finish the job, and Philly was right there. Yeah, Philly finished strong.
They did. They really did. And I tell you, Nick Foles.
Now Foles got banged up. Is he going to be ready to go?
I think so.
He got banged up Sunday.
Y'all want to go over the wild card games real quick?
Yeah, let's call
it. We got Seattle and Dallas. They play at Saturday at 8:15. And then you also have on Sunday, you have the Eagles and Bears who play at 4 o'clock on Sunday.
No, that's the NFC side.
That's the NFC.
But the AFC,
And
they
the
play.
AFC, you have the Colts and the Texans that play Saturday at 4:30.
That's the first game of Saturday.
First game,
Yeah.
the first playoff game is played at 4:30 on Saturday. The Colts and the Texans, and then you have the Chargers and the Ravens who play Sunday at 1 o'clock. So let's get some predictions real quick. You got the Colts and the Texans. Who you have?
Colts and Texans. I'm gonna take the Colts.
I'm gonna take the Colts as well because they're defense.
Well,
And their
not so
offense
much
is
their
clicking good.
Now, Texans, Keaton, you agree with this? They got a good defense, and I like their quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He's a superstar in the making. If he's not already, he's
Is
good,
he
really good.
healthy enough to play?
Well, that's the question.
Well, I mean, he's held out the last game because he wasn't
he was banged up.
banged up. So
I don't ask a good question.
But-
I would think so. It being a playoff game, I would think so, and it's going to be at the Texans too. It'll be tough, but I tell you, I think the Colts.
I'm going with Houston.
Are you okay?
I got
that's not
Colts
a bad
because
pick.
I think Colts have a better running game.
Well, I tell you, I think Andrew Luck is playing really good football. That's a flip of a coin. I mean, you could pick either team there. Of course, the Texans. Have they won a playoff game? I don't believe they have.
This is the
I can't remember.
It's
I don't
been a
think they
while.
have.
I don't think they have won a
I don't
playoff
think they
game.
have either. So I'm going with the Colts on that. Ken's going with the Texans. Who you got, Abson?
I got the Colts.
Okay.
Colts.
Cowboys game, night game.
I got
The prime
Seattle.
time.
I got Seattle because they're better, well-rounded offense and defense,
I
I
think-
got Seattle.
and special teams. And special teams.
The Dallas finished the year strong, but Seattle also finished very strong.
yeah.
But Seattle started off really, really slow,
Yeah, they did.
and they looked great throughout
Well,
the season.
Both teams started slow and finished strong.
I told you
I'll
last.
tell you what, the big game that, for Seattle that really turned their season around was the Panthers game.
Yeah,
That was a big
that's a
game.
game
for
the
them.
Panthers easily
The
could have won.
Panthers needed to win that
And they
game,
couldn't
and they
make-
came to Carolina.
and they couldn't make the
put
play to
smack
do
on the
it, and
Panthers.
that kicked them off. You're right.
Well, let me ask
after
you a
that.
question. How about the Kansas City game? I mean, the Chiefs. Who's a better football team, Chiefs or Panthers?
Yeah, but to turn their season around, Carolina was undefeated at home. That was the
Yeah,
team that
that's-
beat Carolina at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I agree with you.
But you got to think the Chiefs game, Seattle did not have Kansas City did not have Kareem Hunt.
Listen
If
to me,
they had
guys.
Kareem Hunt, that'd have been a different game.
Dallas will beat Seattle if this is a if they control Russell Wilson.
The only reason Dallas wins this game if they run the ball more than 20 times.
They're going to run the ball.
And Dak has
I'm
a
telling
passing
you.
rating over 100. If he has a passing rating over 100, they'll win the game.
And I'm going to tell you something else too. This is a revenge game for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have not beat Seattle in the playoffs,
And it's probably not going to happen.
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Let me ask both of you guys: what kind of game do you see, scoring wise?
It's going to be a low-scoring game. Both of them have good
I don't think
defenses.
so. I think a 27, 24, 26 game. I think Dallas is going to have the ball last. They're going to drive down the field. Dak will. Dallas either kick a field goal or they score a touchdown. Or they might have to score a touchdown to win the game.
Well,
in the last 2
I
minutes.
think the keys in the game. Obviously, Seattle is going to try to shut down Elliott in the running game.
Yeah.
If Cooper shows up and plays, Dallas got a
Amari
shot.
Cooper, yeah.
But if he's inconsistent and they don't go to pass
Yeah.
the game, Dak can't will him to win.
Well,
It
we
ain't
got a
gonna
tight
happen.
end now.
It ain't gonna happen.
You guys heard of Blake Jarwin? You know, he scored 3 touchdowns.
He got 3 catches.
3 touchdowns.
So
Okay, I had 100. I think 27.
All right, yeah,
I mean,
somebody's
to
gotta
me,
score
that's
points for them.
That's the question to Dallas is that passing game.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, Cooper's helped them tremendously, and
He
when
has.
he's on, but when he has an off game, their passing game.
the guy named Beasley too has played pretty good too.
Well, Beasley's always consistent. That is
Yeah, but he
tremendous.
hasn't had a really
By
good
the
year.
way, that was a tremendous
Would you
catch
see
he
that
made.
catch?
That's unbelievable.
That was unbelievable. Yeah.
I got
How about the pass? Wait a minute now. How about the pass? How
I
about
got the
that
score.
Prescott throwing the football? How about
I got
that?
the score. I got the score 21-17 Seattle.
Okay. All right. What you got, Kenny?
I got 24-21 Seattle.
Yep.
Y'all are Dallas Cowboy haters. Just tell the truth.
No,
Go ahead and tell.
I think Seattle is going to win the game.
Okay. All right. Okay.
They did have a better
They're
record.
traveling to Dallas though, so you got a shot, right?
27. I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 31-30.
Question.
Field goal. 31-30.
What's the hardest defense Dallas has played all year? What's the hardest defense?
Man, I don't know. I know you're gonna say the Colts. I ain't gonna say Dallas has had a bad game. They had an off game. They
No,
wouldn't
no,
compare
not
to
even
me.
saying that. What's the hardest defense Dallas has played all year?
The toughest defense.
What's the toughest defense?
I don't know. Probably.
This Saturday you're gonna
Probably
find out.
Seattle.
This Saturday you're gonna find
I'm
out.
talking awfully big over at Pittsburgh.
Hey,
Just let you know that.
look, we got more Super Bowls than y'all.
Big Ben.
I'll take the rings.
All right, let's see here.
Dallas
Kenny, what we-
put 40 on Jacksonville.
You tell them, Kevin.
But Jacksonville wasn't even playing good. They haven't played good all season, Kevin. Take your Cleveland behind out of here.
Just answering your question.
Kenny, go through the AFC with us right quick.
All right, the winners of the West and the number 1 seed is Kansas City. In the East, number 2 seed is New England Patriots. And then you have Houston winning the South and Baltimore winning the North. The wild cards, the Chargers with a 12-4 record, which is just as good as Kansas City's, and Indy with 10-6 record. So your games this week, one of the big games we talk about, the Indy and Houston. The other wild card game is Chargers at the Ravens.
That's going to be a game. I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. The winner of that game could very well win the Super Bowl. Could go to in the AFC.
I'm going with the Chargers on that. I watched that game, Baltimore, Sunday, and they were lucky to win that game. They started out good, but then they faded at the end, and Jackson looked like he wasn't sure about himself in the second half.
Who's the best team in the AFC?
Man, that's hard to say.
Who's the best team?
I don't think it's Kansas City. New England's going to scare you because of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
That's what I'm saying. They're the dark horse in this.
I'm going to tell you right now. I think Houston's going to get beat in the first round. Baltimore and the Chargers. I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to have to take Phillip Rivers. I think he's the better quarterback, most experienced quarterback.
Baltimore shouldn't have beat Cleveland in the first place.
No, they would.
Cleveland had 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm going to say Chargers.
And if he had hit one of those passes when they got the ball back, they could have kicked the field goal.
I'm taking Indianapolis and Chargers. I'm going to think Chargers got to go to New England. And then Indy will go to Kansas City. And Kansas City will beat Indy.
I don't see nobody beating New England. I'm going to be honest with you. But their offense, their offense is clicking at the right time. You see how they beat the Jets? I mean, I'm just saying it's the Jets, but their offense is clicking at the right time.
Well, here's the thing.
It's the defense.
If Kansas City gets there.
They did it last year with no defense.
Then New England, it
happens every year.
New England's used to playing at home. If them and KC win and face each other, they'll be playing in Kansas City. They do not. The Patriots do not play as well away from home as they do at home.
Kevin, throw your expertise in there.
New England. Here's why. If Gronk could tackle, they would be the 1 seed.
Yeah, in the first place,
if Gronk could tackle, they would be the 1 seed.
Out of Kansas City and New England, Kevin, they've already played one time. It's literally whoever's defense shows up and plays will win.
Kansas City's 28th ranked. I'm not picking them to win anything.
Exactly. I got New England.
Kansas City.
Now let me give you guys some stats real quick on your gambling picking teams though. The way it usually works, 50% of home teams lose in opening weekend in the playoffs. 75% of the round 2 home teams win. So it's 50-50 in round 1, 3 out of 4 in round 2, and then it's back to 50-50 actually in the championship round. So 50-50 round 1. So don't be afraid to pick upsets in round 1, but round 2 there's only going to be one. Kansas City might be the one.
Got you.
I'd be really shocked if New England doesn't make it at least to the AFC Championship. I'd be really shocked.
They're gonna beat the Chargers.
And they could
Chargers is the best.
But they got to beat the Chargers.
But New England
at the
playing
AFC
at home.
team.
So I mean, when they play at home, they're much better.
That's a warm weather team too. But listen, look what the Chargers did. They went to Kansas City and beat Kansas City at Kansas City. So I mean, the Chargers.
Bill Belichick can draw something up. He always does.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Chargers is the team that could spoil everybody's party in the AFC.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
All right, so the game we got here, we got the Chargers in Baltimore at 1 o'clock. Who you got? Chargers at Baltimore.
I got Chargers. Baltimore did not impress me Sunday.
All right, so we're basically everybody here is picking the away team to win in opening week because of the AFC. You got Indianapolis traveling to Houston. I got Indy. You got Indy.
I'll take Indy over Houston.
Everybody's at Chargers over Baltimore. So that's all the home teams are going to be out. So that knocks out the 3 and the 4 seed of the AFC. Yeah, I just heard I was looking at something yesterday, and I said that Antonio Brown requested a trade to leave Pittsburgh, and I'm glad he did that. He's 31 years old.
He's only be traded?
Now listen, he's 31 years old, and for the past couple of years, he's been the best wide receiver in the league. He has not fell off the table, and I think
he's not. I agree with
next couple years, this next year coming up, is when he falls off because He has had so many times, so many slaps on the wrist from Pittsburgh, and then this is the year that when they trade him, Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a #1 receiver, and then whoever we get back, I'm hoping they trade him to Houston. If they give him to Houston, I want Will Fuller back. I don't want DeAndre.
I don't think. You know where I think he might end up wanting to go? New England. Play with Tom Brady. Who wouldn't want to play with him? Think about it.
Ken, they better call him. Panthers.
I agree. The Panthers. I love that.
16th pick. 16th pick.
Yeah, but you got to have somebody throw the ball to him, Kevin.
Well, that's not my concern. That's the Panthers' concern.
Hey,
that's it. I'm just saying.
I was waiting for that.
I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from.
I wouldn't mind taking a chance that he's going to fall off next year, because to me, when he's healthy, he's the best out there.
I'm going to tell you, New England and Dallas is 2 perfect locations for him, because
if he goes to Dallas, Dallas would be a good team. But they don't need another wide receiver. They need a tight end.
Pittsburgh's not traded him to Dallas.
I don't think they're not going to do that.
That's like Cowboys trade somebody to Washington. It's not it. That's one that's not going to happen.
Yeah. They probably won't trade him to New England.
We'll take Zeke for Brown. You want to make the trade?
No.
Call it up.
I don't think so.
We'll take Zeke. We'll take Zeke for Antonio Brown. We'll take that any day. Put Jerry on the phone.
You already got a running back. James Conner's pretty good.
Yeah, but I want Zeke. I don't
cut
care
all
about
these
James.
losers who are unappreciative to bring
Zeke has not been hurt in the league, and he seems like he's not going to be hurt at all.
Brown and Bell need to take their loser attitudes and get on out of Pittsburgh, because they've got this winning quarterback.
Dallas would be nothing if they didn't have Ezekiel Elliott. I'm going to tell you that right now.
For a break, I got a tribute we got to do.
All right. I tell you, let's go to break right quick. Yeah, let's go for it.
I've got a tribute for you guys.
Listen up, guys. All our listeners out there.
Some of you folks out there that may pay attention. I'm guessing in our area, there's a lot of folks who are going to know who I'm talking about. Mean Gene Okerlund died today.
Yes, I saw that.
76 years old, iconic WWE backstage interviewer.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I got a few Ric Flair bits for Mean Gene for you folks as we go
to
break.
Great.
And we're going to leave the comments on if y'all want to talk about it.
Woo! Gene, we're in the big D tonight, baby, and we are live. Woo! What a city! Gene! Woo!
That's the nature boy himself.
Gene, we are in the Twin Cities, and baby, we're looking good. Woo! Woo! My God! We're in Hoosier country tonight, baby!
This is the rerun of everything?
No, this is.
He's going from city to city.
Every city he did it.
Oh, good God.
He just called him Mean Buffalo, New York Gene. Mean by God, Buffalo, New York.
Look at him.
He's in Ohio now. He's making his way around.
Ken, is Ric Flair the greatest
He's
Charlotte athlete in history?
Yes, he's the greatest performer.
Yeah.
I mean,
he put Charlotte on the map. They don't talk about that.
I love this little.
Many years ago.
I'm a limousine riding.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, that's the best line.
Space Mountain.
Yeah. Oh, God. We can't get into that.
I know.
And to beat the man.
Yeah.
To beat a man, you got to beat the man.
All right, guys, we'll be back in just a minute. KTC Broadcast.
All right.
Live and uniquely local.
It's a community station.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. WCSL Cherryville.
When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincolnton, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
It's the 30th anniversary of NBA basketball in Charlotte, and the Hornets are writing the latest chapter in Charlotte basketball history with their first-year head coach, James Borrego. Fast-paced and high-flying. Join the new voice of Charlotte Hornets basketball, Chris Kroger, and 10-year NBA veteran Matt Carroll as they deliver every thrilling moment of Hornets hoops all season long on the Charlotte Hornets Radio Network.
Here's Charlotte Hornet basketball right here on the Boss in Carolina Country. WHS, WCSL, and WLON. Online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincolnton will brighten your smiles with professional cosmetic dentistry and smile enhancement procedures for everyone. Even Duke fans will smile at the work of this Tar Heel. The office of Dr. John L. Cloninger III is located at 904 Doncha Drive. For an appointment, call 704-735-0765. That's 704-735-0765. And John III says best wishes to all high school athletes.
Maybe a punctuation mark on a career night.
Carpenter Porter Funeral and Cremation Services in Cherryville is there for you in your time of need. They're a progressive and comprehensive funeral service provider, promoting the highest ethical and professional standards while maintaining cost-effective service. Funeral directors John Porter and Hannah Garrett are there to help you and give you guidance during one of life's most difficult times. For more information, call 704-435-6711. Located at 1100 East Main Street in Cherryville and online at carpentersfuneralhome.net, a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
In Africa, 5-year-old Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Play trivia every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock right here at Big O Country. 4 big games each morning. Join us for trivia right here at Big O Country, WHS, WCSL, and WLON.
Okay, you're listening to the Best in Sports Show here on a Wednesday afternoon on WCSL. Ken Link, Addison Johnson, and Tim Johnson here with you. We've been talking some NFL football. And, guys, there's a couple of teams that don't have any coaches. In fact, a fourth of the NFL teams don't have a head coach this morning. 8 coaching vacancies.
Yeah, I tell you. And one of them is, without a doubt, the Cincinnati Bengals. We was talking about this gentleman, Marvin Lewis, in between the breaks and stuff like that.
He's been there a good minute.
19 years?
He's been there a long time. I don't know how many years exact, but he's been there a long time.
To be the head football coach there at Cincinnati. He's gone.
He should have been, to be honest with you, he should have been fired years ago.
Well, they talked about firing him, a long time ago. Actually, last year they was about to fire him, and they kept him. But, I'm kind of surprised he hung around as long as he did. But Cleveland Browns, Ken, Hugh Jackson was fired halfway through the season, and Baker Mayfield's been taking advantage of that situation.
Yeah, he has.
Well, look at the coaches they used, and whenever they fired him, they did a great job whenever he left, and they turned that team around.
Well, Greg Williams is the head coach now. The
interim head coach.
Interim, yeah.
I think
you think they might move him to head?
No, I don't know.
They talked about that, but I don't think. I think they'll go outside. I know McCarthy from the Green Bay.
I think he's the head coach.
Is interviewing, but he's also going to interview with the Jets. He probably go with wherever he thinks the best.
He's got a quarterback. He's going to go with a quarterback.
McCarthy said, "Heck, I don't even know why I'm head coaching if I didn't have Aaron Rodgers." He said that one time. He said that, thank God we got Aaron, or I've been fired years ago.
At least he's honest. All right, the other teams without a coach, in addition to the Browns, New York Jets, Todd Bowles was fired. Mm-hmm. Denver, Vance Joseph. Cincinnati, Marvin Lewis, as we said. Miami, Andrew Goss.
Adam Gase.
And Adam Gase. Green Bay, Mike McCarthy. Arizona, Steve Wilkes, the previous defensive coordinator here in Carolina. And Tampa Bay, Dick Cutter. I think everybody saw that coming. Some of these coaches are black coaches. In fact, what I heard is right now there's only 2 Afro-American coaches in the NFL, head coaches.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Of all these coaches on this list, who you think on this list will coach next?
Mike McCarthy.
Absolutely.
Mike
No doubt about it. Coder. I heard Coder was going to go to now listen, I heard Coder was going to go to Atlanta, and he's going to be the offense coordinator in Atlanta. I heard that.
Well, are you talking about head coaching jobs?
No. I'm talking about, of all these coaches on here, head coaches, who you think is going to be another head coach?
Well, Hugh Jackson's already an offensive coordinator at Cincinnati, ain't he?
Well, I don't know. I think I think he's just a.
Where's Kevin at?
I don't think he is. No, he's just a person who's just.
He was on the sideline.
McCarthy, I think, is the only one who's going to be a head coach. A couple of them could be.
I don't see any head coaches on here except McCarthy.
Steve Wilkes could come back to Carolina as a defensive coordinator.
What about any college coaches?
Adam Gates, to me, is not a head coach. He's not a head coach.
I don't think it's too many people. That ship sailed a little bit. I don't know how many people is going to be salt in the college ranks to come in.
I tell you, a head scratcher to me. How in the world Vance Joseph has become a head coach? What was John Elway thinking?
I don't know.
That's a head scratcher.
Didn't work out.
Get Peyton Manning in there.
That goes to show you, guys, we was talking about playoffs, who made it and everything. If you don't make it, you won't be around too much as a head coach, what it looks like.
No, you're right. I agree with you.
They got a short leash.
Yeah, they sure do.
I can't believe Dallas, if it wasn't for Dak Prescott, if Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott, is Jason Garrett there right now, or is he?
Well, let me ask you a question. Your boy, Mike Tomlin, how much longer is he going to be a head coach at Pittsburgh?
No, he's got a Super Bowl under his ring, and he's already been.
He got a Super Bowl because of the coach Bill Cowher, who was there before him. That's why he won.
But he's been to one after. He's been to one with Green Bay too.
He got beat though.
Well,
that's great. That's a great team.
I'm gonna tell you, I think Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat.
I don't know about that.
Yes, he is. I think he's on the hot seat.
He has one of the
lost
best
his football
teams.
team.
He has one of the best teams in the NFL. He just has players that on his team that are worried about themselves. They're worried about themselves.
Yeah, they're individual players.
Le'Veon Bell. If Le'Veon Bell played this season, are we talking about who's in playoffs and who's not? Because they're definitely in the playoffs if Le'Veon's playing.
And it's not Tomlin's fault that he's not there. That's the organization. I mean, that's above
you. I agree with you there.
You got to pay that man, and you know what? He held out. Some team is going
to get the money to pay the rest of the
some team is going to pay him, and you watch out. And my best guess would be the New York Jets because they have the cap space to do it, and all they need is a running back. Because that offense will open up, and it looked brand new. It looked like one of the best.
They fired their coach, Bowles.
Well,
Todd Bowles. They fired him.
I thought he was a good coach.
He's a good defense coordinator, real good. But I don't see the rest of them.
We'll see that there's a lot of these vacancies going to be filled pretty quick because you're recruiting out and drafting out of college is right around the corner, and you don't want to have a vacancy there when you head into looking at what's coming out of college and make a decision on who you're going to draft. So they'll fill these pretty quick.
College football. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Do you think if Zeke holds out like Le'Veon does, you think they're going to pay him?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
They got the money to do it.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if Jason Garrett don't go deep in the playoffs, if he don't go to the MC Championship game, he'll be fired.
No, not this season.
Yes, he will.
He'll be next
season. Be fired. I'm telling you right now, if Jason Garrett, if they get beat Saturday night by Seattle,
no, because
Sunday he'll be fired.
Wait, why did they not fire him last year? Why did they not fire him last year? Why?
Well, he had a lot of injuries last year. You got to credit that. A lot of injuries.
Well, a lot of these teams have a lot of injuries, Dad.
Well, I know that. Well, and I agree with you too.
Carolina has a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
they didn't fire.
They
didn't fire Ron Rivera.
No, he shouldn't have been fired. I was in his corner. I like Ron Rivera.
But why is Jason Garrett? Why should he be fired?
I don't know. Exactly. I'm just telling you, if Jason Garrett, if they get beat Saturday night.
Here's the thing, Addison. The Cowboys, and I'm being serious. The Cowboys fans are so frustrated by the Cowboys not recently doing well in the playoffs, they're ready to take Garrett's head off if he doesn't win. And I don't think necessarily juries wants to do it, but the fans don't like it.
I'm frustrated.
Kevin. Let me get your honest opinion about this.
When I was a Cowboys fan, I wanted Garrett fired 4 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I did too.
Why do they not fire him last year?
Because listen, let me tell you, the reason I'm wearing a Cleveland Brown shirt right now.
I wouldn't be a Cowboys or Browns fan.
Jerry Jones is a hot dog salesman. That's all
He's a salesperson.
That's all he doesn't.
Yep.
That I've learned, I learned after all these years that he didn't care about winning. They didn't care about winning. That they haven't cared about winning. As long as the Cowboys are number one in sales, that's all he cares about.
That's all, because that makes him money.
And so
all he's worried about is the reputation.
For us to even sit here and talk about the football team, to me, there's a reason I'm wearing a Brown shirt. Is that I don't even think they're relevant to even talk about them now until they do win something. And Garrett's an awful coach. And if they didn't have the number 6 defense and the number 1 running back, how did Cam go 15-1? He had the number 2,000-yard rushers, number 1 rushing defense. I mean rushing offense, number 2 defense.
How's he? I don't know.
So when these teams get these when these teams get these number 1 and number 2 rushing offenses and a top 5 defense, they win. It don't matter who's at quarterback. Now, I pulled down some stats for you guys looking forward. Now, every year 6 teams on average miss the playoffs that made it the year before. This year, exactly 6 teams missed: Jaguars, Titans, Falcons, Bills, Panthers, and Vikings.
Yep.
Now, 45 of the 53 Super Bowls have been won by a top 12 defense.
Defense wins championships in football.
Yeah, I understand. And defense wins in basketball as well.
9 playoff teams are currently in the top 12 in defense. Okay, so pick one. Pick your team champion from one of these teams: Chicago, Baltimore, Houston, Dallas, New England Chargers, Indianapolis, Seattle, and Philadelphia.
But you got to have a great offense to complement that defense.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You do. You got to be able to score points.
No. Listen to me. Listen,
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
I don't like the Ravens. Don't even bring up the Ravens.
Completing 47% of his passes.
I don't like the Ravens. Let's not talk about them right now.
47%.
He couldn't throw it through that door.
No.
He could not.
Why?
He'll tell you that. Yeah.
Why is he on ESPN right now? That's what I want to know. Why is he
on ESPN?
The Elite 11 camp. Why does he host that?
Listen,
quarterback.
Why would he talk about quarterbacks when he went team to team to team to team?
Listen, knowing the position, how many coaches actually played? So knowing the position doesn't mean you can actually
Jason Garrett played behind Troy Aikman.
Knowing the position doesn't mean you can actually play the position. So that don't really.
He played behind Kurt Warner too at the Giants.
Jason Garrett.
He's a good backup.
So yes,
he should be the backup coach.
Yes, the answer is Jason Garrett should be fired at all times. If I was a Cowboys fan, but I don't care now, so they can just keep running him out there. You know why? It was in year 3. I just lost it because he lost 2 games in the final three games, Addison, with a lead in the fourth quarter, a 2-score lead. Now listen to what this. I did the math on it. From the time he kept passing the ball in the fourth quarter, right? So when you throw an incompletion, what happens? 40 seconds. So I started over the years after the first 2 counting Garrett. Every time they lost, I would go back and count how many passes they threw in the fourth quarter and how many seconds. He lost 3 games that year when they missed the playoffs by 1 game when they tied with somebody. They lost 3 games that year. Now remember, this is the play call. If Garrett in the fourth quarter, every time the Cowboys got the ball, would have called 3 kneels and a punt. They would have won 3. They lost 3 games that year because they had leads in the fourth quarter and they didn't. They kept throwing it. All he had to do was take 3 kneels and a punt twice in 3 games, and they would have made the playoffs.
You know what I'm worried about?
Terrible.
You know my nightmare. You know what?
Terrible.
You know what wakes me up in the middle of the night?
Your best play call is to take a knee, Tim, and the guy messed that up.
Listen what wakes me up in the middle of the night. Dallas wins the Super Bowl this year, and they signed Jason Garrett for a lifetime.
What'll be worst thing is they'll win 1 game and then sign him for the rest of lifetime. Not the Super Bowl. You can be happy with the Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'll be tickled to death.
He died. If they won a Super Bowl, he'd die right in his sleep. I'd have to call the Cowboys to put him down one more time.
Jerry or Tim?
Dad.
Both. Probably both of us.
Probably Jerry too. Jerry farts, he might die.
Is Tim going streaking through the quad?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Either way, college football championship playoffs. The Clemson Tigers defeated the Notre Dame Irish 30-3. I knew that was going. I told y'all that would happen.
Notre Dame shouldn't even been.
No, they should.
Georgia should have been in there.
Should have. Yeah,
I thought Georgia should have been there.
Well, Georgia got beat last night.
Georgia and they didn't show up, but Georgia
they didn't play.
Georgia and Ohio State both would have been better games than Notre Dame and Oklahoma.
I agree
in
with
my
that.
opinion.
I agree with that. Alabama whipped up on Oklahoma 45-34. You know, I watched Kyler Murray play in the first half. He didn't impress me at all. He looked like he didn't, but he played better in the second half. But I don't know, Ken. He just didn't impress me. But I tell you what, Tua, the quarterback for Alabama, he's a player.
He's good.
If I tell you,
he can play in the NFL right now.
Nah,
he could
too little.
He could quarterback. He could quarterback for
who you talking
for
about?
the Titans right now.
Tua's too little. He ain't too little.
How tall is he?
He's probably about
5'10".
No, he's probably about 6 foot. He's probably about 6. He's probably about 6
6.
foot. Yeah.
Is he Hawaiian? Is he a Hawaiian?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but he's better quarterback in my opinion than Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah. I mean, from what I saw,
Mariota's starting quarterback for Tennessee.
As far as throwing the ball,
yeah, but
he can throw it. He can throw it.
And he's accurate too.
What about how tall is Russell Wilson?
He's Russell's 5'10".
He's about 5'10".
He's 5'10".
What about Drew Brees? How tall is he?
Drew Brees 5'10", almost 6.
What about Johnny Manziel? He was your prospect.
Manziel.
He was your prospect.
Crazy.
He was your prospect.
Kevin Hastings, that's his boy.
You wanted him with the Cowboys, didn't you?
No.
Tua Tagovailoa is 6'1".
Is he 6'1"? I didn't know that. I thought he was about 5'10".
And he runs like a deer.
Yeah, he can run. He can move, and he's stout too. He's kind of thick.
He's my number 1 draft pick.
Who you got, Ken? Clemson, Alabama.
Clemson and Alabama.
I'm taking Clemson.
Two good quarterbacks. I'm pulling for Clemson, but
Alabama has the veteran quarterback.
Alabama, I think's got the best balanced team overall.
Offensively, Clemson. But all around, you got to go Alabama.
I don't know if I would say offensively. I think Alabama's offense might be a tad better.
No.
But the difference in that game, guys, is going to be the defensive line and offensive line. I think Clemson's offensive line.
Clemson's running back had 20-something touchdowns this year.
I'm but I'm telling you right now, they've got wide receivers on the bench.
If Tua's healthy.
Yeah, but wide receivers.
He's healthy.
He was 80%. He looked pretty good.
Wide receivers don't really mean anything.
If he wasn't completely healthy, I'm going with Clemson. But
I'm going Clemson.
I'll be pulling for Clemson, but I'm going to choose Alabama.
I think Clemson's going to win it.
I think the reason they didn't put Georgia in there is Georgia SEC.
Yes.
Yeah, they're SEC.
They didn't want to put 2 SECs.
I mean, that was the reasoning, but still, those would be the 2 better teams. Notre Dame didn't play.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, they didn't. I mean, 3 points.
Oh,
come on.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Guess where the head coach might be end up at coaching the NFL? Brian Kelly, the coach at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
There's rumors going around he might go to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers head coach.
Good.
Why? So he can leave there and go back to Notre Dame?
Well, I mean, that's just what they're saying. College basketball. Kenny. Your Duke Blue Devils, 11-1 on top. Michigan, 13-0 undefeated. Tennessee, 11-1, pretty good. I tell you, Tennessee's playing good basketball. Virginia Cavaliers, 12-0 undefeated. Kansas Jayhawks, 11-1. Nevada, 13-0. Gonzaga, who upset Duke, 13-2. And Carolina just whipped the daylights out of Gonzaga. Michigan State, 11-2. Florida State, the Seminoles, 12-1. Virginia Tech, 12-1. And Kenny, others in the ACC, Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah, I'm not happy with Tar Heels right now.
9-3. I know that's Kenny's team.
Well, I'm not
Kenny's
either because
I'm a Tar Heels fan.
They don't show up and play. One game they show up and play, and then they go back to the old habits.
And that's I blame that on coaching. They have players that they should be playing, and they're not.
Well, I think now Roy's pushing them. Don't get me wrong, but he substitutes a lot. He's jerking them in and out. I just don't see the continuity.
When there's rhythm, let them keep playing.
Yeah, I'm like you. Sometimes I think he messes up the continuity.
You know, we're the only team in the top 15 that hasn't won more than hasn't made double-digit wins yet, Ken.
Yeah, I know.
And we have 3 losses. That's so sad.
Before we go to a commercial, guys.
But some of these teams haven't played anybody.
The only reason we're top 15 is because we're Carolina Tar Heels.
And we played some tough teams.
Well, how about my NC State Wolfpack?
I mean, we played Michigan. We played
NC State's
Gonzaga.
horrible.
How about my NC State Wolfpack?
They're 12-1.
12-1.
And you know why they're 18th? They haven't played anybody but Auburn.
I mean, Kevin
where's
just made a little
Auburn?
Chuckle in there about
Auburn's
NC
not in the
State
top
Wolfpack.
10 anymore.
I can't remember who Barkley's team it is or Auburn. but all right, I had some notes on the college payments of. There's a lot of things going on right now in the backgrounds. Here's one of the things: Nick Saban, when he gets paid $9 million a year. The push-up coach at Alabama gets $800,000 a year.
The push-up coach, that's good.
There you go.
I mean, what else do you call a strength and conditioning guy that stands on the sideline and acts like he's on roids? I mean, hey, let's go. $800,000 for that.
How much does the water boy get paid?
I didn't get that far in it, but so Alabama.
You need to find that out. I need to get a job.
So how about this for a government job, Ken? When Saban retires, he's going to get a $2.4 million pension.
Wow.
State of Alabama's taking care of you.
2 points. Now, you do the math on that. Say most programs have 100, 110 players. We'll do 100 to make it even on the math.
Yeah.
That's $24,000 a player per year that the state of Alabama could pay the players on the football team instead of paying Nick Saban to be retired.
Yeah. Wow.
Roy Williams is the highest paid government employee in North Carolina at $3 million now, and his retirement is almost going to be higher than the highest paid in than Roy's yearly salary. So think about all the money that could go to that. Now when people say, well, what about all the players like the swim team and the underwater basket weavers? I've got a solution for that, guys. The TV contracts. Let's say one of the bowl commissioners on one of these crappy bowls made $1 million. All he did was say, "Hey guys, we're playing Sunday," so he got $1 million for that. So looking at this, so the TV contract for the SEC is $41 million per team, per school. I looked up the math on Alabama. 660 student athletes. Do the math on that. $64,000 per student athlete. They could pay each student athlete, not the football, not the basketball, the swim team, the pole vaulter, the cheerleaders, the underwater basket weavers. Every one of them could get $64,000.
That's a lot of money
per person, only on TV contracts.
Wow.
We hadn't sold a ticket. We hadn't sold a single T-shirt. We haven't sold anything.
Wow.
And that's just TV contracts alone. So when people, this is where when there's so much money, that's why the push-up coach is getting paid $800,000. It's got to go to somebody.
Yeah.
Well, the old joke about the government toilet, a golden hammer and a golden toilet costing $500,000 if the government pays for it. So there's just some every single student, not football player at Alabama, student athlete could be getting $64,000 a year.
There you go.
Well, now, real quick.
I guess it pays to be the best coach in college football.
Let's do some North Carolina math real quick before we go to break. They say, well, the scholarships, everybody gets paid a scholarship. Well, all scholarships aren't even, right? At Duke, in-state tuition is $49,000. At North Carolina, it's $8,500. So does Duke, since Chaz decided not to go to Duke and go to Carolina, does Duke or North Carolina owe Chaz $200,000 in ramen noodles because they can't pay him? So you see what I mean? So they sit there and say this stuff's even, but an education from Duke is not, especially when you got one from North Carolina and you say, I'm a football or basketball player from North Carolina. There's like, well, you probably took fake classes. So, I'm just saying, it's not all even. And
it's not even.
They make it out to be, so there's got to be something, somewhere.
It's not even. And like you say, not only is it tuition, but a lot of schools don't have the money coming in like Alabama and North Carolina.
They make it to the national championship every year.
That was per team SEC, $41 million.
One set of rules. I mean, it might work for one conference, but a crossover and NCAA, double A, it's hard to come up with a formula that works. But I agree with you. I'm not against the athletes getting paid if the money's there. I'm not against that.
I just have never saw the reason to why that commissioner. So just think about if you just closed your eyes and said, we got 40 kids out here playing football.
He just don't want to go through all the paperwork and everything he's got to do to get that happen.
And there's a guy sitting up here in the booth drinking champagne. He gets paid $1 million, and guys on the field get some Adidas sweatsuits. That's what they pats on the back. It's just a weird combination. The money.
No, we ain't giving you no food.
All right, guys,
either.
go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
All right, boys, we're going to go to a commercial break and be right back here on WCSL on 1590, 92.3 on the FM station. Tim Johnson, Ken Lincoln, Addison Johnson. Be right back after these fine commercials.
Live and uniquely local.
It's a community station.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. WCSL Cherryville.
For 9 straight years, Ewing Insurance Agency in Gastonia has been voted the #1 insurance agency in the county. There's got to be a reason why. Ewing Insurance Agency features over 75 years of combined experience. Whether you're looking for a review of your auto or homeowner's insurance or seeking a customized business insurance package, the team at Ewing Insurance Agency is ready to tailor a plan that's right for you. Drop by their office at 1548 Union Road, Suite C in Gastonia. Visit their website at insuregaston.com. That's Ewing Insurance Agency. Check out the great rates at Pine Mountain Golf Course. Play and ride weekdays for only $21. Seniors play and ride weekends for just $18. Or you can play and ride all day weekdays for only $28. Seniors can play and ride all day on weekends for $25. Make your tee time today by calling 828-433-4950. You'll love this challenging 18-hole par 68 course. The Pine Mountain Golf Course, adjacent to South Mountain State Park. Again, call 828-433-4950 for your tee time.
The votes are in, and it's a clean sweep for Carter Chevrolet of Shelby. Voted #1 new car dealer in Shelby. Voted #1 used car dealer in Shelby. Voted #1 service department. Voted best sales staff, plus the highest customer satisfaction. Come in and find out why. For over 50 years, they have been serving our area with 3 generations of Carters. Family owned, family operated. Carter Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at carterchev.com. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Come in now and save up to $1,200 on select GE profile appliance packages, refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and microwave ovens. Let Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center put a package together for you. Again, save up to $1,200 on select GE profile appliance packages. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center. 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday.
Cherryville Ironman Sports right here on Big O Country, WCSL 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
All right, folks, we're back here off the break. Had some good discussions during the break. Before we leave college basketball and go over to the NBA a little bit, I want to mention something. The coach, UNC Greensboro, coached by Wes Miller, former Tar Heel, off to the best start ever with a 13-2 record. Miller just became the most winning coach in their history with 125 victories. He's 125, 118 in 8 seasons. Last year they won 27 games. The year before they won 25. So there's another school in North Carolina that's doing
started to do well.
Yep.
All right, you missed the most important news of college basketball of the week, guys.
What's that?
The Gardner-Webb Bulldogs. 2 ACC wins so far this season. Georgia Tech and the Demon Deacons go down to the Gardner-Webb Bulldogs.
Hey, they beat Kentucky a few years ago. Remember that?
Yes, they did.
They sure did. Yes. Gardner-Webb Bulldogs did beat Kentucky at Kentucky.
Who let the dogs out?
That's right. That's right.
Hey,
keep dog pounding.
Kevin, you too young, but I remember
Always
back in the
here.
Artis Gilmore days and Gardner-Webb.
I know who Artis
Yes.
Gilmore is.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't know
Yeah.
see him play at Gardner-Webb.
Is that the Iceman? They call him the Iceman.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the Iceman. They called him the Iceman. Artis Gilmore. Is that what it was?
That's George Gervin.
George Gervin.
George Gervin.
Okay.
Artis
Okay.
Gilmore.
All right, so should I bring it up in the NBA, Kevin? You want to hear this?
What?
LeBron James is in the news again for saying that he is the greatest of all time because he brought an NBA championship to Cleveland, who had never won. All right, so I know who typed this. I know who typed this. It's Kevin. Kevin typed all this up.
No. You're wrong.
Yes.
I didn't type anything.
That's mine.
I don't know what
That's
y'all are
Ken.
doing.
You typed this, Ken?
Yes, I did.
What is this blasphemy you put out of your mouth?
That's facts.
No. It is facts. I give it to you, Kim.
Read it.
Read it.
That's right. Read it.
Michael Jordan brought 6 NBA championships to Chicago, who had never won one. Prior to Jordan, the Bulls had never been to an NBA Finals and had only won a total of 3 NBA playoff series in their history.
Now, that's what Michael Jordan did.
All right, let me.
What have the Bulls done since
Let
he
me
left?
let me tell you, out of who's the top 3 greatest NBA players? I mean, all around NBA players of all time.
I'd say Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, all the way around, and probably LeBron James. Those 3.
You say
that's
Michael.
my pick.
You say Michael, Magic, and Magic.
That's the top 3 of all time.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with Michael, Shaq, because Shaq's
not all around.
Yeah, but you got to put a big man in there. He's got rebounds. He's got points.
Wilt Chamberlain or Russell over him.
Shaq about Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon's good.
Smoked him.
He did.
Shaq
He did.
every
Yes, he
time,
did.
every
Yes, he
time.
did. But who was the most dominant big man of all time?
Listen, I
you
know
had to
Addison,
double him.
You're just picking the biggest people in the world. That's fine. That's cool. But
All right,
but Hakeem Olajuwon smoked him. Every
he was
time.
skilled.
So what do you
he was
do?
great.
I like Shaq. if I'm going to the park, I'm throwing Shaq in my group because nobody can guard him. You're right. But he couldn't guard Elijah. He couldn't come close to him.
No, he could. He was too quick and fast. Yeah, he just couldn't stay with it. But
don't forget, Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace stopped Shaq.
Well, I tell you,
don't throw that Carolina bull crap in there.
Ben
don't throw that Carolina bull crap in there.
Rasheed and Ben Wallace
I swear,
stopped Shaq.
you got Carolina blue blood, don't you, buddy?
Ben Wallace, I don't even know what college he went to.
He's the only one. This some sodomy does too.
Jesus.
I don't even know what college Ben Wallace went to.
I'll just say this, Edison. That's just not.
Jerry Stackhouse is the greatest basketball player of all time. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, from Kinston.
Go ahead and say it.
From Kinston, yeah.
It's just not logical thinking to think just because you brought one championship to Cleveland and didn't have one. I'm the greatest. Are you kidding me?
I'm not saying that he's the greatest of all time. I'm just saying he's top 2. And who else do you throw in there?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Magic Johnson to me.
Magic had a lot of players. Magic had a lot of players.
Listen, I'm telling you guys.
He had Kareem. He had James Worthy.
There you go.
Kareem was pretty good.
I would, if I'm going 1-2, I'm going Michael Kareem.
I was going to say Kareem was unbelievable. I was going to say Kareem could be in the top. Kareem's definitely in top 5.
You couldn't guard him. He's got 5 championships. And he won everything there ever was to win.
Yeah.
And you know, the only thing they say about Kareem is he wasn't that physical well. I mean,
let me ask you a question. Would you take Kareem over Shaquille?
It just depends what lineup and what you're playing.
I'm going to tell you why. Because Kareem would take Shaquille out, make him come out.
Listen, Tim, if I've got Jordan on my team, I don't need Kareem.
You don't.
So it just depends who else is on my team. And that's a lot of things about these NBA discussions. It depends on who's on your team. So I could go out there with – I've told people for years, I could go out there with the greatest North Carolina Tar Heel basketball pro team, and you can put together whatever pro team you want.
James Worthy, Michael Jordan.
And you're going to have
Perkins.
a really tough time beating me. I'm running out Rasheed, Worthy, Perkins.
Who's your point guard?
Jordan, Ty Lawson, Phil Ford. I mean,
Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson's probably the best point guard I've ever had.
Think so?
Yes,
you think
he probably is. Yes, he is.
No, I don't know. I think Kenny Smith's better than Ty Lawson. Kenny's in the top 3 or 4 probably.
Hold on. Are we just picking these players because they were great at Carolina, or are you picking them?
I'm just talking about overall
James
basketball.
Okay, so if you're picking them overall, you got to take them in their prime. Kenny Smith was not in his prime when he played at Carolina.
I didn't say anything about Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith was special.
I just said if I'm taking 5 players from Carolina. Jordan wasn't in his prime at Carolina either.
Okay, exactly.
Okay. What are you talking about, Addison? I'm just saying.
Because
if
I would have Kenny
players,
Smith over Ty Lawson any day.
That's fine. That's your team. You're not a Carolina fan. Get off here. Remember, your team is the all high school team. You pick all your high school players.
You're the biggest bandwagon I've ever seen. How do you leave Dallas and go to Cleveland?
I've got my
That's worse.
You coach your team. I coach mine. I've got the Tar Heels. You've got the LeBron and the losers.
Let me guess. You'll have Dean Smith.
Yeah.
No. Oh my goodness! I mean, not Dean Smith. You'd have Roy Williams over Dean Smith.
Roy's awful.
No, Roy coached.
Let me ask you something, Kevin.
Roy is using Dean's offense.
Listen. Now you're a true Carolina fan. You and Ken. Let me ask you something. Who was the greatest collegiate basketball player ever to play?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor.
No.
Lou Alcindor.
Give me David Thompson. Dean's. Listen.
Now he just told me a homer, and he's wearing an NC State shirt. Listen, just said the greatest.
Hey,
you got 2 choices, Tim, and it ain't David Thompson.
Terry Reinhardt. If you're out there listening, tell Kevin.
It's Lou Alcindor.
Tell Kevin Hastings.
How many championships did David Thompson have?
I'm telling you.
How many Lou Alcindor? Did Lou Alcindor lose a game in college? I don't think he did.
I just got a text from Terry. I
don't know if Lou Alcindor even lost a game in college, Tim.
He had the best career, there's no doubt.
And Pete Maravich is on that top 5 college players, too. He's the all-time leading scorer.
Terry just said Magic, Michael, Shaq, Bird, and James. You know, I agree with him, but I wouldn't put Shaq.
Let me see that.
I'm telling you right now, Shaq is not better than the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He has Magic better than Michael?
No,
that's the start lineup.
That's
Oh.
Listen, Terry's smart. He's a basketball man.
He spelled Shaq wrong.
And I guarantee you, I'll put $100 on it right now that Terry's going to say David Thompson's the greatest.
He's a state fan,
collegiate.
too.
It doesn't matter. He's honest.
He's top 5. He's top 5, Tim. He's
number 1.
David Thompson's top 5, but he's not number 1. Lou Alcindor's number 1 in college. That's why I said Jordan's. I mean, Lou might have the greatest basketball player of all time from high school to college to everything. So it's really tough on that. Also, Addison, when you start talking about LeBron, you know, we talk about how many finals he lost. He also lost in the Olympics. Michael didn't lose in the Olympics.
And Michael ain't gonna lose in nothing.
He lost in the Olympics. He brought shame to this country. LeBron brought shame to this country by losing at basketball.
I forgot. LeBron was the only player out there.
Tell him,
not
man.
Kobe, not
Every
Carmelo.
time they lose, they blame everybody else but LeBron.
You know that? You're hurting his feelings.
All right, let's go over his in LeBron's prime, in LeBron's career. He's lost how many times to Kevin Durant? What's his record against Kevin Durant? Losing record. He's got a losing record against Dirk. What's his record against Tim Duncan? Losing record.
You mean LeBron? You mean LeBron's losing record to the Dream Team?
What Dream Team?
Kevin Durant, Steph, Clay.
He's 2-0. He's 0-2 to them. He's 1-1 against Steph and Clay. He's 0-1 against Dirk. He's 1-2 against Duncan. So Duncan, Durant, and Dirk.
He's 1-2. Yeah, he's 1-2 against Duncan.
Yeah.
I forgot the early finals.
There's 3 other players in his prime who have better finals records against him.
He's been to the finals more than any other player.
But okay, he's the greatest loser. I mean, what are we talking? Wilt Chamberlain. Isn't that what they said about Wilt Chamberlain for years, Ken?
Do you know that team? You know as well as I do.
Ken,
that Cleveland.
Ken, is that not the argument for the last 40 years?
Oh, yeah.
Chamberlain or Russell. Chamberlain has all the skills.
Hold on a second,
but Russell
Kevin.
won every time.
Hold on a second, Kevin. You know as well as I do that Cleveland team should not have been in the finals last year.
How many All-Stars did they have last year?
How many? 1, 2. Who they have?
Who? You tell me.
LeBron and Kevin Love. That's all I know.
So they had 2. What other team had more All-Stars than them in the East?
In the East?
Nobody else. So, what are we talking
Philadelphia?
about?
Philadelphia?
They had
Philadelphia?
They had just as many All-Stars as everybody else.
Boston?
And the best player. So why they should have made it? How does the best player not make it?
I don't know. The whole Western Conference team,
guys,
the whole Warriors team was on the All-Star team.
We got a few minutes left.
Well,
Ken,
first of all, Draymond Green is not an All-Star.
He's on the All-Star team.
Cherry just texted me. He said Draymond Green. Anyway, Ken, is the Hornets going to make the playoffs this year? The 6th seed is what you got right now. They're the 6th
I'm going to
seed.
say they will, but it's not. They're going to sneak in.
What do you think, Addison?
The whole East is horrible.
East is not that strong.
Like literally, the East is the ABA and the West the NBA.
But I don't think they'll make any noise when they get there.
Also, folks, Saturday morning, the Saturday Sports Talk Show, Kevin Hastings, Terry Reinhart, Carson Dockery, and Sarah Hunter. Yancey, our good boy, our good friends. They are going to be, Kevin, you got a live interview of Dirk Nowitzki, is that right?
I talked to Dirk today. I didn't really ask him anything about tonight's games. I didn't think it'd be relevant for today.
So you'll have that Saturday.
We'll play some of it Saturday. Ask him about Vince Carter in the All-Star game, maybe Duncan. Ask him about playing Luka Doncic one-on-one. Also ask him about he's historically known for his leg workouts. Ask him about that. He was talking about really for tonight, for you to know. He just said just right now he's doing exercises and workouts that he does in not spring training camp.
And Addison,
he's just now doing that.
And you're going. What games are you going to be going?
I'm going to the February 27th game, Houston Rockets on Wednesday. That's when the Hornets and the Rockets play. And then I'm also going to the March 23rd game, Boston
Celtics.
The Boston Celtics.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, try to get an interview from Kyrie.
March 5th, I'm going to the Miami Heat game. I want to see Dwayne Wade, last year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Might as well see him.
Yeah, Dirk kind of mentioned this might be his last year too during the interview. I don't know if that's
He's been a great.
He's the longest basketball. He's got the longest. He's got the longest tenure with any team, right?
I think so. Tonight, Harvard at North Carolina, tough game. Tar Heels, 6 o'clock. Mavericks and Hornets should be a good game.
Harvard and Carolina.
That's all right. That's Harvard. Nice non-conference
They almost had
game.
Sage Surratt. Wake Forest don't want him.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you something. and next Tuesday night, Ken.
Carolina at NC State.
Who you like, Kenny?
Oh, Tar Heels are going to win. Roy Williams sees that as more of a rivalry than any other game.
Bigger than Duke?
Yes, he does. He loves to beat NC State, and he usually does.
There you have it, folks. That's the best in sports right here for you on a Wednesday afternoon. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. Tim Johnson, Kenny Lee.
See you next week.
Mr. Basketball himself, Addison Johnson. You guys have a great rest of the weekend. We will see you here next Wednesday, and we'll have that final score, too, of the Carolina-NC State game.
Because we live here, too.
Definitely in touch with the city and what's going on.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
Say, kids, what time is it?
This